Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about these fairly low profile iron sights from Feyachi. Okay, the company sent them to me. So the first thing that stands out is that they do sit kind of low, which is where I like them. I like the iron sights to really be out of my way and not interfere with other things that I am normally doing, right? Because these are backup sights. So as backup sites that don't get used that often, I really want them out of my way. Okay, so if I'm grabbing the gun up here, I want them to be low profile, right? I mean, normally I grab the gun here, but if my hand happens to go up here for whatever reason, I just don't want these to be in my way. Okay, so that's the first thing I want from iron sights. Keep them out of my way. So there's a couple of other nice features on these Feyachis. They do have this push button design here. So you push the button and they pop up, right? Push the button, they fold down. Push the button, they pop up, okay? So they got a nice feature like that. They do have fiber optic in the back. So you got green in the back and red in the front. So that fiber optic basically needs a light source in order to work. So it's not going to work at night. I already tried it. It's you got to have a light. The light's got to hit the fiber optic, and then it kind of lights up. Okay, so one of the other nice features I've liked about this is the elevation adjustment in the front. It's this rotary knob that you turn, not the style where you need a key, where you got to find a tool to put in there and adjust it. Like, I'll give you an example. Like this one over here. This one is from Dagger Defense. Okay, so this one over here, in order to change that, you gotta find the key. I got like 3 of them in drawers somewhere. The reason why I got 3 of them is because they always get lost, and I end up ordering another one. So now I'm up to like 3 of them. So that one doesn't need a key. Okay, so try to avoid the ones that need that key. It's just a pain in the ass to always go looking for a key to change your elevation adjustment. Okay, so yeah, this one has a nice rotary knob over here, and it's low profile. So those are all features that I like. Now, these are backup sights. Okay, so realistically, I almost never use them for actually shooting unless I'm actually like specifically training with iron sights, or I'm trying to do a demonstration, or I'm trying to teach somebody else. The way I actually use my iron sights is to move optics around. Okay, so today we're actually gonna be comparing those to these Magpul ones. Okay, so these are the Magpul ones. These were like $200 for the pair when I got them. Okay, the price has since come down to like $70 for the pair. They're still stupid expensive, but these are very low profile. I do like low profile. So if like normally when I hold this rifle, it's here like this, right? But if my hand happens to go on top of it for whatever reason, they don't stick up so much that they bother me. Okay, so these are a little bit more low profile, which I like. That's something I like even better. Okay, but these are like a lot more expensive, which I don't like a lot better. Okay, now with these ones over here, make sure you don't buy the knockoff brand, because I've got the knockoff brand here. I tried them and they're horrible. Like, they get stuck. I can't even rotate the elevation knob. Okay, and on this one over here, the windage thing over here, there's a pin that goes through it to hold it in place. That keeps coming out. So do not get the Magpul counterfeit ones. I've tried it, not good. Okay, so look for other more affordable iron sights that will do the job. Okay, so let's put these on the side. I just keep those around as an example. I can't even use those anymore because either the screws are stripped, the rotary, the elevation rotation won't work, so they're just not usable. Okay, so let's look at this rifle over here, right? So these are from Dagger Defense, right? Now this scope that's on this rifle, I just put it on there a few days ago, and it's only going to be there for like maybe a week or so, and then it's going to come off. Okay, so the iron sights are there so that when I put the next scope on, or the next red dot, right, particularly the next red dot for testing, I got iron sights to 0.2. Okay, so they actually work nice over here because they fit right underneath the bell over here, right underneath that scope in this little pocket over here. In the back over here, I got a bubble level, so it can't go back there. So this is good. As soon as the scope comes off, the I can flip up the sights, and I can put on a red dot, and I can get a quick 0, right? And that saves me ammo, that saves me time. Okay, so I just wanted to give you guys an example of how I use the iron sights. And that's actually the thing I was planning to do today. Okay, right here with these Magpul ones. Okay, so the optic that I'm going to put on there is this one from also from Feyachi. Okay, it actually came off the other rifle. This is the optic that was on here, and I did a review on this optic, and then this came off and that went on, right? So you can see how I rotate I use the different rifles to test out different optics, and this way it's just less work zeroing. Okay, so let's put this one on. And I did a bunch of reviews on this Feyachi V90. One of the things I like about it is the star screws. They're nice big, there's 2 of them. 2 nice big sturdy ones. Which is kind of important if you're like me and you're like constantly taking them on and off. You don't want screws that are stripping. So actually, before I even do that, let me do this, right? Because a lot of times people think that the iron sights are useless in that position right there, that you can't use them. Okay. But just using these iron sights in that goofy position right there. Okay. You can see how I can hit the target, right, with the iron sights. And if you think about it, like if you got a pistol, right, that's about how far your iron sights are on a pistol, and you can hit the target. So I'm a big believer in making the equipment work for you, not you working for the equipment. Okay, so let's get this red dye on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to push this forward because I'm going to have a magnifier in the back, and I have magnifiers of different sizes. So regardless what goes in the back, I'll have plenty of room. Actually, before I do that, make sure I got room to fold back my sights. Now that's a little close. I'm going to move it back one. I don't want to have to move the iron sights because I already got a 0 on that. There's already blue Loctite on these screws from the last time I used it, so I mean I can feel the resistance as I'm tightening them up. Yeah, that sounds good enough. All right, so I'm going to use this key. I'm going to do a quick adjustment here. So now I'm using the iron sights to make my adjustment. I just flipped the precision aperture. Looks pretty good. Good. Okay, so let me. All right, so iron sights are now down. All right, so you can see how I can make my shot. So by using these iron sights, even though they're in this goofy position up up in the front over here, right? I can quickly get a 0 with my red dot. I got space to put my magnifier in the back, so the magnifier really takes priority in the positioning, right? Because there's an eye relief issue with the red dot, okay? And then what happens is my bubble level goes up in the front, okay? And what's going on is when I'm looking through this, okay, my right eye can see the dot, my left eye can see the bubble level. So that works really good. So I can see both, actually. So I can see the red dot and the bubble level at the same time, and I can take my shot. So bubble level up there takes really makes a lot of sense here. So that's why bubble level goes up there. Magnifier takes priority, red dot there. Iron sights go there, okay? And like I said, make the equipment work for you, right? You don't work for the equipment. So now with these iron sights, what I want to do, because magnifier is also going to go on this one, right? I also, magnifier is something that I use. Iron sights is really not something I use unless I'm either training somebody on how to use the iron sights, or if I'm moving optics around, right? Like in the case that's usually the case. Oops, I dropped it. I mean, that's usually the case. That's usually how I mostly use the iron sights, to move optics around. So when you're doing that, you want to use the large aperture, right? See, the way it's supposed to work is the iron sights with the big ghost ring, right, goes in the back, because when your eye goes up against it, right, the ghost ring ghosts out, okay, and then you naturally center it. So that's why that ghost ring normally needs to be in the back near your eye, okay? That's if you're going to be using these on a regular basis. For the way I use it, which is to move optics around, that's in a good position there, but I have to use the larger aperture because it's so much to the front, and just is the other thing. By moving it from there to there, not much has changed. I still have a 0, right? So even if I turn down, right, so I just completely dimmed down the red dot, right? So there's no red dot there, right? So I'm now just using the iron sights. I still got some ammo on this one. Okay, so I'm just using the iron sights now because you guys saw me dim down the red dot. So you can see how I can make my hits just using the iron sights up there with the dot dimmed down. And what I'll do now is I'll basically bring it back up. See if I can get that into the camera. Hold on. I'm trying to do it so you guys see it. There you go. There it went on. Okay, so now we got the red dot back on. Okay, so now I can hold down the iron sights. Now, with these iron sights, you should use the button to both, obviously, to raise it, but also to lower it. Okay, because if you're trying to force it down without pushing the button, I can potentially see some wear happening. Okay, so again, now just using the red dot. So let's unload the gun. So what I want to do now is I want to talk about ways that this could potentially be improved, okay, this Feyachi iron sight. The number one thing is I want these low profile out of my way, all right? So if they can figure out a way to get them even smaller, flatter, out of my way, that would be even better, okay? So that's the one thing I would recommend. Number two, in the interest of both reducing the expenses and also making these more durable, I would recommend that they get rid of the push button, release, okay, because that's something that I see breaking over time. Okay, that's that push button release. I just seen it on other optics. It's just one of those things that wears. I would recommend just going to the manual lift up and manually put down, because that's just something that's not going to break. Okay, right? And these Magpuls have enough resistance here that, I mean, they're never going to flip up on their own or flip down on their own. Okay, so I would recommend dropping doing away with the automatic flip up. I mean, I know people like it because it's very switchblade like, right? You push the button and it pops up, and you're like, ooh, wow. But I have had other iron sights in the past where that has broken. Okay, so that's a point of vulnerability. The switchblade pop up and push down. Okay, that's a point of vulnerability. I would recommend that they just do away with it. Okay. What else can we recommend? Okay, so we said low profile. Make it even more lower profile. We said do away with the switchblade pop up. On the fiber optic, I don't know what it's a nice, cute feature. I don't know what it cost them. If it cost them anything significant, I mean, that's one of those things where I think they might also do away with it, because on other iron sights that I have used that don't have the fiber optic glow in the dark, they work pretty good, especially if you're mainly using this just as a backup or to transfer optics on and off the rifle. Okay. So yeah, there's some ideas, right, to both reduce cost and improve it in the future. However, as it is right now, low profile doesn't stick up a whole lot. Like if you look at this one over here, which is like in that same price range, the $30 for the pair, you can see how when this thing sits, you see how it pops up, right? So it doesn't really fold down as flat. It kind of pops up. That's also a snag hazard. Okay, so that's the other thing with these pop-ups. That what can happen is a lot of times something like a rope or string or something will get caught up in there, and then it just forces it out of position. And then when you have like this switchblade setup, that can stress the system out. I mean, I don't know if that's the reason why I've had these break on me in the past, but that's a point of vulnerability. Whereas, let's say with these style, where you have to manually lift them and manually put them back, I mean that's not gonna, that's not gonna break. And you see how they sit like really flat. Okay, so what we got here is like, yeah, these are nice, but these are like stupid expensive. Okay, like I said, when I bought these, I had paid $200 for the pair. Would I do it again? No, I would not do it again. I mean, I just got better places to put money, buy more ammo, buy more optics. I mean, the thing with iron sights is I barely use them really than to just transfer optics from one gun to the other. So I'm not going to spend that much money on iron sights. Okay? But for the purpose of, backup sights, the purpose of moving optics around, these are pretty good. I mean, these are good. These will get the job done. Okay, so there's some things for you guys to think about. Rather, in the description below, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link to the website in case you're interested in checking it out, with a 20% discount. Now, I do not get a kickback or anything. So this is like basically I got this discount just for the benefit of you guys if you're interested, and you can actually use it for any of the products that they sell. And I've noticed that they've got some really interesting thermal optics, all right, which I hopefully at some point we'll get a chance to test them out. But I don't see why that 20% discount wouldn't work on those thermal optics. So you got the discount, use it any way you can, guys. So drop some comments below. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll talk to you soon.